Hello and welcome to a spotlight for modern Mystcraft. I want to show you Mystcraft for version 1.6.4, the current version 0.10.13.1. Now first off, what is Mystcraft? Mystcraft is a mod that allows you to write descriptions of new worlds, new ages, new dimensions in books. So to make this happen, you will need leather to bind your books with, paper to write with, wheat, of course, to make new cows, to make new leather, and ink to write with. Ink can be gotten from water, such as over here, or I've got a couple of ponds and a river that away. So the first thing is, let's start getting some supplies and we'll see how it works. Now the first thing I want to do is go over the two main blocks that you will need to make: the ink mixer and the bookbinder, as well as two essential items that you will need to make. One is the ink vial, and there are two ways to make an ink vial. The other is the unlinked linking book. This is how you get back home. This over here is a linking panel. So let's take a look at each of these. The ink mixer. The ink mixer's job is to create linking panels. You cannot use a Mystcraft book without a linking panel. There's nothing too special about this. You need smooth stone, you need glass bottles, and you need wood. The next thing is the bookbinder. The bookbinder is needed to make a descriptive book. Without a descriptive book, you cannot go to any new age. So to make a bookbinder, to make a descriptive book, the block that you use needs 3 iron and some wood. To make a linking panel, in order to activate the book, you need water, glass, so again cooking stone, and squids. And finally, no matter what, your book will need leather, and you need the linking panel. For the linking book, which lets you get back, that's all you need. For the descriptive book, you will put pieces into this block, and you will make it that way. Now, this may not seem like that big of a deal, but I want you to be aware that stone, sand, the ability to get wood or other fuel to cook the stone, cook the sand, mine iron, and having access to water and cows. Not every place that you go to will be able to do that. There will be places that you go to where if you wipe and have nothing, you are stuck. So the first thing I want to teach you is safety. One quirk of vanilla which you need to be aware of is that while glass bottles stack and the ink vials that you make will stack, the water bottles that are intermediates do not stack. So you're going to take your ink sacks or other black ink, black dye. It can be any black dye registered with Forge, and you're going to make ink. So let's start making some linking panels. The first thing we do is we get our ink mixer, set the ink mixer down in the world, we get some paper, and open up our ink mixer. The ink mixer looks a little strange, but basically paper goes in one spot, ink goes in another spot, and I simply shift-clicked to put it into the inventory. The output is empty glass bottles and linking panels. The first thing we're going to want is 4 of these. Link panels that have identical features, for example, all of these are plain ordinary link panels, will stack. So I have leather and link panel, and I make unlinked link books. I am making 3 of these, and they also stack. An unlinked link book behaves just like a blank map. They stack, they're crafted in one place and used elsewhere. The first rule of safety is that you will expect to have a minimum of 2 and usually 3 new link books every time you go somewhere, as well as 1 more that's going to be used for the descriptive book. So how do you use these unlinked link books? Well, the first thing you do is you find a spot in your world that you consider relatively safe that you want to return to. Right-click on a single book and it becomes a linking book. Linking books do not stack, even if they are in the exact same spot. But now, head over to the Nether. And in my little fortress of solitude, as it were, watch what happens when I activate the linking book. It tells me where it's going, back to the overworld. In normal Mystcraft, this section will give you an indication as to the safety of the link and whether it works. There is an add-on called Destination Link Renderers, which will actually draw a picture of what it looks like. And it brings me right back to where I was. But my hand is empty. One of my linking books was left behind. When you use a linking book that is not in a book stand or lectern, it's left on the ground where it was. Linking books will always stay behind unless you have something called following. Following is no longer available in survival mode. It is only available through the debugging block. So let's go back and pick up our book. Hello, Golden. And just in case he followed me, he did not. So there's the book. It is not your normal item, it is an entity. Right-click it to pick it up. don't feel like dealing with ghasts, so let's just get out of here. So this is what linking books do. They act as teleporters. You bind them to a spot wherever you are, and then they will teleport you back to that spot from anywhere in another dimension. You have to go from one dimension to another, and they will only take you places that you have already been. But they are very powerful teleporters. It is possible using add-ons to reduce their power if you feel this is excessive. But the first thing I want you to learn is make 3 linking books before you go into any 3 linking books home before you go anywhere in the various ages. Alright, so now let's do the bookbinder and see how to make descriptive books to go to new places.